welcome to episode 186 of the Layton Fitness Podcast. Now, within this specific episode, we'll be discussing what to do if you're hungry during a fat loss phase. Now, it's firstly just really important just to understand and appreciate that it's actually pretty typical to be hungry within a fat loss phase. Some of the tactics I'm going to be providing within this podcast are by no means going to prevent hunger within a fat loss phase. It's just going to allow you to manage hunger more effectively within the fat loss phase. It's certainly going to make a difference, but you're not going to be able to eliminate hunger completely. And the reason why is, remember that if you're within a calorie deficit over a chronic period of time, which you will be within a fat loss phase or a decent period of time, again, you're going to be hungry, you're going to be tired, you're going to be lethargic, but unfortunately that's just because of the calorie deficit. But with that being said, let's head into some of these strategies and tactics which will basically help you to manage hunger a little bit more effectively within the fat loss phase. And this is a very important point, because I'd argue there's two main reasons why people give up within a fat loss phase. The first one is the obvious one, obviously a lack of results. I think we all agree that's the main reason people give up within a fat loss phase. But the second reason is hunger can become a real problem. Again, we can't eliminate it. We can certainly manage it by focusing on these tactics. The first tactic is to start trying to consume more fiber. Fiber is going to help you feel fuller for longer. So my suggestion would be try and have as much fiber as possible within the fat loss phase. Try and really have as many fibrous vegetables, because they're really going to give you more fiber. In addition to that, because fibrous vegetables are very low in calories, you can really consume a lot of them without having a big dent into your calorie figure. You can really consume a lot of them without making a big dent into your calorie target. So really what it's twofold. You've got the fiber, but then secondly, you're having a large volume of food without, again, making a big dent into your calorie figures. Now, the next tactic is a little bit controversial, because I suggest to my clients, this is something I do personally, to move more calories later in the day. You need to realize within the fat loss phase that it doesn't particularly matter where or when you're consuming your calories. If you have more calories in the morning or the evening or the afternoon, it doesn't particularly matter, as long as at the end of the day you're creating that calorie deficit. You're burning more calories than you're consuming, and then over a chronic period of time. So it's really about that net difference. Doesn't matter where you're consuming those calories, as long as at the end of the day you're creating that deficit. So as such, my suggestion to a lot of clients is basically saving calories until later in the day. The reason why this is an effective approach is typically most people are more hungry later in the day as opposed to the morning. So by saving calories until later in the day, when you're most hungry, it can just be a great way to blunt hunger. Whereas in the morning, most people typically are not as hungry. Next tip is to focus on consuming enough water. Just consuming sufficient water alone will really keep you fuller for longer within the fat loss phase. So I typically recommend approximately 2 to 3 liters per day. So if you're not consuming enough water, just that alone will make a big difference to keep you fuller for longer, to help manage hunger more effectively. The next tip is to not be too aggressive in the fat loss phase, to not be too aggressive with the calorie deficit. It goes without saying, if you're going from eating, say, 2,000 calories to 500, you're making that big of a change, you're going to be absolutely starving. It's not going to be sustainable, and therefore, again, you're going to binge, you're going to give up. So it's really important that you focus on a small deficit. So what I suggest to clients is focusing on trying to lose 0.5 to 1% weight loss per week, because remember, in the fat loss phase, you've got two goals: to lose body fat, but also to maintain as much muscle mass as possible. And it's really that second objective of maintaining muscle mass which dictates the rate of weight loss you want to be seeing each week. So a 0.5 to 1% weight loss target is a great target to aim for, because again, it's going to allow you to maintain muscle mass. It's enough to start losing body fat, but it's not so aggressive that you're going to be extremely hungry. Next tip is to consume more volume, more food volume. So similar to what I was saying about the fibrous vegetables, is a very good example, because you can have a lot of them without making a significant dent into a calorie target. And that typically means focus on food volume is mainly focusing on whole foods, single and green, minimally refined foods, just because you can typically have more of them without it having a big negative impact on your calorie figure, without making a big dent into your calorie target. Whereas more processed food, typically there's less food volume. You just need a small amount to have quite a lot of calories. Now, that being said, it doesn't necessarily mean you need to be eliminating processed food. If you've listened or watched any of my other content, you know I'm a big proponent of flexible dieting, having approximately 80-90% of your intake from whole food and the rest from whatever you wish, because that's going to allow you to adhere to the plan for longer, allow you to have a life but still achieve your goals. At the same time, because you're getting mainly whole food in your diet, you're going to be meeting all your micronutrient needs as well. So that's really, really important. Now, that's pretty much everything. Start applying some of those tactics if you're really struggling with hunger within the fat loss phase. Again, this is so important, because with the exception of lack of results, this is the next big reason why people give up. They're too hungry. So focus on implementing some of these tactics. Maybe you listen to this one more time, and these will make a huge difference, especially the tactic of moving more calories later in the day, saving calories in the morning. That makes a tremendous difference to all my clients and myself personally. That one alone could really be a game changer for you. So don't be afraid to have most of your calories in the evening when you're most hungry, and that typically will really help to blunt hunger in the evening. So thank you very much for listening. If you're still yet to subscribe to the podcast, please do so you don't miss an episode, and I'll look forward to speaking to you next week. Thank you very much.